Hi Yogi. So I wanted to mention anterior pelvic tilt. Anterior pelvic tilt is something that I do mention in a couple of our mobility videos. What it is, I have to show you, is your pelvis. I'll tuck my shirt up in here. When your pelvis tilts forward and it gives you a booty, but it also sticks your tummy out. So the reason I know so much about anterior pelvic tilt is because I have it and I've been working on adjusting it and fixing it. So what it is not only is it that tilt, but you walk around like this, you talk like this, you don't really realize what's going on. It's because your glutes are not activated or they don't know how to properly activate and when. Your hip flexors are too tight and then your abs are a little bit weaker. You might be thinking like, I can hold a 5-minute plank, like my abs aren't weak, but when this is happening, it means that other areas of your body are taking over so that the places in your body that need to work are not working anymore. So this can be fixed. So I'm exaggerating right now, booty out, tummy out, but it can be fixed by activating your glutes and training your glutes to activate, lengthening your hip flexors and being mindful of not always allowing your hip flexors to do the work for you, and then working on your core and deep core. And so you go from here, so where you have all this going on, and what's annoying is that it's like a tummy pooch. It feels like, why do I look pregnant all the time? Which was a question I asked myself at one point. And so you go from here to here. Well, now it's like a flat stomach, but really it's because your pelvis is aligned underneath you, your hips are aligned underneath you, and this is alignment that can carry you throughout the day. This alignment is, yes, you can get away with it, but not for long. Your body's going to catch up to you and you can develop a lot of back pain as a result of all that pressure on your lower back. And it's just something that you don't, if you know you have it, then work on it. So you can work on it in a couple different ways. You can work on strengthening your glutes and training your glutes to activate. So this might be a little bit of work that you do outside of your yoga practice, in addition to your yoga practice, where you can work on your squat form. And when you're working on your squats, make sure that your glutes are activating. And there's activation exercises that you can even bring in to your exercise routine, the 20-minute mobility yoga for hips and tummy pooch video and anterior pelvic tilt. That one has an exercise that will activate your glutes. And we do it one leg at a time so you can really focus on that glute. And then not only do you want to work on activating your glutes regularly so that they can do it on their own when you're doing, yoga, when you're doing exercises, because yeah, you can actually get away with doing squats without your glutes activating. And if you're doing that, then you're using other parts of your body. You want to make sure that your glutes are working and firing. So glutes, 1. 2, hip flexors. So if you are sitting all day, you sit to work, you sit to eat, you sit to commute, you sit to lounge, then chances are your hip flexors are tight. Most of us have tight hip flexors. And when your hip flexors, that's, right here, when your hip flexors are tight, then they're probably going to start pulling and shortening this area, which actually does this. And then they're just way too firm, way too strong, and they're taking over for the glutes and for the abs. And so I'd recommend not only paying attention to your lifestyle and seeing where can you make adjustments so that you're not spending 8 hours of your day with your hip flexors like this, but also work on opening up your hip flexors. And that's more than just one deep stretch. That is using movement to help get your hip flexors to warm up before you get into a really, really deep stretch. So the 20-minute hip mobility video, again, is going to be a really good one for that. And then your yoga practice can also be a great place for it when you're mindful of it. Like when you go into your crescent lunge, how can you stabilize yourself in crescent lunge so that you are really getting that lengthening of the hip flexor? When you're moving into any of our lunges, really, you can focus on that one spot of your body and be like, okay, I really want this area to lengthen. I can breathe into my hip flexor. And then something that you might want to avoid would be ab exercises that require your knees to bend towards your chest. So bicycle crunches, Instead, I prefer that you work on ab exercises that are like planks or deep core exercises that work your transverse abdominis. So the deep core collection, it would be absolutely great for you on this one. When I did the deep core collection, I was battling this like tummy pooch experience anyway. And I was like, do I have diastasis recti? I don't. So what's going on? Oh, I have anterior pelvic tilt. And so I used the deep core to first address diastasis recti and pelvic floor and transverse abdominis for all people, but also specifically for women in postpartum. Any time after birth, after they're cleared for exercise, to help like stitch that core together. What I was really surprised of was that as I was practicing this collection leading up to the filming of it, my core got tighter and tighter. So this is my natural, like my natural stance now, which is much better than where it was before. And so instead of being like this and having that kind of, you know, tummy pooch effect, I've been lifting weights, like this X3 bar type thing. So I feel like I'm getting a lot stronger right now. But back then I felt like I had a little bit more going on as far as like less engagement. And so I felt like I had even more of a tummy pooch. That deep core, the transverse abdominis, like it like stitched my stomach together. And that strength held my pelvis in place. So that was half of it. It's a really great benefit of having a deep core is that it can support you and hold you. Then working on your hips is the other half. So I hope that made sense. Anterior pelvic tilt, one more time. When your pelvis is tilted anterior and it causes your booty to stick out and your tummy to stick out. And this can cause a lot of lower back pain if not addressed. It's definitely an alignment issue that you want to work on, you want to address. If you want to talk to like a physio or a chiropractor, they can be really helpful with it too. I'd recommend the deep core collection and I'd recommend the mobility collection. Both of those, even if you did the mobility calendar and added in some of the deep core videos, if you've done the calendar so many times and you want something different, then just kind of alternate your deep core and your mobility videos. And that should really help not only your anterior pelvic tilt, but also mobility is just incredible for opening up your shoulders too. So that's it. You guys have a wonderful rest of your morning. And I am going to get a little bit of work in before I go snuggle my monsters downstairs. Bye.
Well done, yogi. You know what would be really perfect right now? My hips slow stretch routine. A long holding, deep hip opening class, more like a yin style routine that'll make you go deeper than ever before in some of your favorite hip openers and maybe some new to you. All you need to do to get access to this formerly members only video is click the first link in the description of this video, enter your name and email, and I'll instantly send you that video. So go do that right now. And then if you like this video, please let me know by clicking the like button below and comment to tell me your favorite part. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel for new uploads every week. Yoga and lifestyle videos that'll help you stretch, strengthen, tone, and de-stress on and off your mat. So go get started on the hip slow stretch and I'll see you there. Bye.